To get started, you're going to need a breadboard, which is a white rectangular board with these small embedded holes to insert electronic components. It's commonly used in electronics projects, and we can also say it's a prototype that acts as a construction base of electronics. We'll notice on the breadboard over here, if I turn this sideways, is that there's different levels. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and there's also numbers where we have, this is the first row, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. You'll also notice on the left and right channels over here, there is a separation in the middle, and that there's a negative side, so that this row is representing the negative charge, and a positive side where this is representing the positive charge over here. Underneath the breadboard, the A, B, C, D, E lines are connected with a metal strip horizontally, and on the sides of the breadboard, there's a strip of metal that's connected vertically. So all of these pins in the same row are connected to each other, where all of the pins behind the horizontal row are connected to each other, with a space in the middle where this side is not connected to this side. The next step is to use this little button over here to get input. But the problem with this button is that there's no part of the Raspberry Pi where you can take the button and plug it into. So what we're going to have to use is we're going to have to use this thing, which is called a breadboard. And to set the breadboard up, we are going to need to use 3 wires. Instead, today, these wires are going to be a male to female wire. So the male wire over here, you can see, has this prong on the end that's going to allow it to go into one of the spots of the breadboard over here when you plug that in. The other side is female over here, where it doesn't have that prong or connector, and that's going to be able to go onto a specific GPIO port over here. That way we can connect the breadboard over here to the physical pins, the general purpose input-output pins. When we're done wiring it, it should look like this. We're going to place the breadboard on our workstation over here, and the first part we're going to use is we're going to be using a button to get input over here. So we're going to find our button over here that if we press down over here, we hear it snap, and we are going to be placing this in row number 2 over here, and I'm going to reconnect my camera angle. We're going to take our button over here, and we're going to make sure that it's sideways so that the prongs in the back over here can reach across 4 little pins over here. So we're going to go up to row number 2, and we're going to place the row 2B. So I'm going to go find row 2B, and I'm going to place those prongs in my breadboard like so. So it's in row B, and it's in the second row, and it's the prongs over here, as you can see, stretch across 4 different pins all the way from B to E. Then we're going to take our board, place it back sideways so it's ready for use over here, and next up is we're going to need to use 3 different sets of cables. We're going to have a male to female cable over here that has a prong on one side, and we're going to use 2 of them, and we're going to have 1 set of male to male prongs that has a connector on actually both sides of it over here. I'm going to want to take the male to female cable over here, and we're going to be placing this on the pin in the 3rd row over here in the ground. So we're going to place the first one in the ground over there, and then we're going to take the other end of it. We're going to take the male end over here, and we're going to place this ground into the first row of the negative charge in the breadboard over here. So the first row under the negative over here, just like so. So see, it's in the negative row, which goes vertically down, and it's in the first one over here. Then in the second row of the GPIO connectors, we're going to count 1 place back on the second pin over here, and we're going to place the female end of the pin over here. This is considered GPIO pin number 2, and it's a general purpose pin that we're going to be able to use to wire up the button. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to take the male end of the cable over here, and I'm going to place this one over here in row number A4, which is going to be lined up right next to the button over here. So we're going to line it up with this prong over here, and we're going to place that right in there.